Hey, I'm checking in. Tell me, what's going on?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking at the famous people who've publicly commented on Investigation Discovery's shocking docuseries.
You don't even know what accountability is. You're searching for it maybe, but you haven't landed on it. That's for sure.
Amber Frank.
What are you gonna do?
What can I do?
If I tell her the truth, she'll freak out. If I don't, she'll feel like I'm hiding something.
So you've got options?
Quiet on Set focused on the production environments of some of Dan Schneider's most popular Nickelodeon shows, like All That, The Amanda Show, and Zoe 101. But after viewing the docuseries, Amber Frank, who starred as Taylor Hathaway in The Haunted Hathaways, shared another alarming incident she witnessed in the early days of the show. In a TikTok video, she recalled a time around 2013 when computers that contained explicit material arrived on the set.
It's beyond heartbreaking to know that a company that was employing children failed miserably at protecting them.
According to Frank, the matter was allegedly never investigated, and the person or people who were behind the disturbing content weren't named. She also shares her support for the victims of the several allegations in the docuseries.
I hope that we can create a very different environment moving forward.
Ali Deco.
From what I'm understanding, probably the most healthiest set out of all the Nickelodeon shows. However, it did have a lot of toxic and not so healthy aspects.
Another actress who didn't participate in the docuseries, but watched when it aired, was Ali Deco, most known as Rosalina from the Naked Brothers band. She also took to TikTok to discuss her personal quiet on set experience, specifically a scene she was forced to film. Deco, who was young at the time, had to kiss an actor who was twice her age.
They made me kiss this 30-plus-year-old man when I was 14, 15. I told them many times I didn't want to do it. My mom was very against it.
Despite repeatedly saying she didn't want to do it, she felt it was implied that she would lose her job on the show if she didn't comply. Not only was this deeply traumatic for her, but it's shocking that this kind of scene was on a kids' show that Deco says young audiences saw as a documentary.
Particularly girls wanted to fight me in real life. I didn't have fans because they thought it was real life, and that I kissed this greasy-ass, dusty-ass
Jack Salvatore Jr.
We could talk about the massages. We could talk about the fact that he would literally count his gold coin collection in front of his crew who was living paycheck to paycheck. We could talk about how sometimes he would bring out a shotgun to scare one of the writers when they were working at his house. We could talk about the high-level conversations I wasn't supposed to hear.
In addition to starring as Mark on Zoe 101, Jack Salvatore Jr. also worked behind the scenes on Dan Schneider's other shows, including Victorious and Salmon Cat. He exposed some shocking situations he witnessed involving Schneider's behavior, including a time when the producer allegedly scared a writer by pulling out a shotgun.
This is an entire industry built on hope and dreams and adrenaline and wish fulfillment. And that can be a very dangerous thing for megalomaniacs to wield.
One incredibly upsetting thing that he claimed to know about was the studio's callous mishandling of Jeanette McCurdy after she lost her mother to cancer. Salvatore Jr. said Nickelodeon discouraged providing the young actress with antidepressants, worrying any negative or fatal side effects could hurt their image.
Funny.
You're not laughing?
Yeah, I'm not in a real laughy mood.
Devon, Heiser, Lindsay Shaw, and Daniel Curtis Lee.
I get it. If I had just watched especially that third episode and then watched us joking like that,
You would be upset.
I would be like, are they sociopaths?
One of the most talked about reactions to Quiet on Set was the cast of Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, Devon Heiser, Lindsay Shaw, and Daniel Curtis Lee. In a live TikTok made before they allegedly even watched the series, Heiser and Lee appeared to joke about Drake Bell's allegations of abuse by dialogue coach Brian Peck.
We shouldn't joke about this. We really shouldn't.
This is awful. Why are we doing this?
Because this is about us.
Bell responded to their offensive remarks by calling them, quote, D-classless. After actually watching the docuseries, Heiser posted an apology. In an episode of their podcast, Ned's Declassified Podcast Survival Guide, Lee and Shaw also condemned their behavior and apologized. The trio stated that they briefly worked with Brian Peck and remember seeing that he was arrested in 2003.
I hate that this happened. I hate that, we compounded
any trauma around this situation that means so much to each of us. And, you know, I am sorry.
Alexa Nikolas.
I've been waiting 17 years for today.
Long before Quiet on Set, Alexa Nikolas was one of the most vocal former child stars speaking out against Nickelodeon and their practices. The Zoe 101 star was featured in the docuseries and has continued to highlight the horror stories of others who've shared their traumatic experiences and reactions to the docuseries. She also had a lot to say about Dan Schneider's apology video.
He's a mean guy. And now he's trying to look like he's just this nice guy that, like, kind of gets it and wants to blame everyone else.
While some former Nick stars like All That's Leon Frierson said that they did accept the producer's alleged remorse as a step in the right direction, Nikolas did not.
I don't even feel any remorse from him. He's not even crying. He's not even, I know everyone deals with their own emotions in their own way, but I don't feel anything from you, Dan. I don't feel a thing.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Josh Peck and Nancy Sullivan.
Could you excuse us? Just for a moment.
Drake Bell was prominently featured in episodes 3 and 4 of Quiet on Set, discussing for the first time the abuse he suffered by Brian Peck. Since the premiere, Nancy Sullivan, Bell's on-screen mom from Drake and Josh, has publicly reacted to his interview, praising him for coming forward. But Bell had to post about his other co-star Josh Peck in response to people condemning him for not publicly speaking out immediately. Bell said that he'd already reached out and spoken to him privately.
It's been very sensitive. But he has reached out to talk with me and help me work through this, and has been really, really great. So
days later, Josh Peck posted a statement saying the docuseries brought up some revelations that he needed to process. He also showed his support for other survivors and advocated for much-needed changes in the industry.
People want to jump on everybody and get everybody, but. Yeah. Focus on people who wrote letters of support. Focus on people who aren't coming out and saying that was a mistake.
What celeb do you want to hear from? Let us know in the comments below.
Such a big reaction from such a little comment. I don't think anyone was expecting it.